So what was Download Festival like for you? Because we was there in 2018 when you were performing.
Oh,
We was watching you there, but that must have been crazy. Like just looking at it and seeing that amount of people.
yeah, it was completely mental, like genuinely mental. It was, I think the thing about that year for us, that sort of touring cycle, was that we'd sort of did the first album. We did a bunch of festivals, sort of literally like a similar size. Where we got this like weird slot around European festivals where we're on the main stage, sort of second or third on, and we did like rock vertical. We did like gigs where we completely didn't expect the crowd, or we sort of turned to this festival and like, oh, you're on this stage, like, holy shit, cool, all right. And I think the funniest one was like, yeah, it was rock vertical. It was like an amazing day. We got to the venue, got to the stage and everything, walked out, and there was literally about 75,000 people watching us. And we were just like laughing, walking on stage, like, it's like 20 people here, because we'd never played the year before. I think it was in Belgium. I think it's Belgium. We'd never played Belgium before. Like, okay, this is mental. I think we were the only band playing at that time. So we'd had like this sort of weird experience of playing festivals that big before.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that we'd sort of done that on the first album, it was all completely mental. Then because we had such a lull between the albums, I think going back to then doing the second album and going to do the Download Festival was a bit more sort of sweet for us in a way. It sort of felt like we've still sort of got it somehow. We've still kind of got it together, and we've managed to do this show. But that's definitely probably my favorite gig we've ever done. That one, it was just completely mind bending. It was just like, yeah,
Crazy, isn't it? It's a big milestone for you as well. I mean, it's Download Festival, isn't it? It's like kind of the one that started them all, really, in a way.
No, definitely. It was an amazing experience. Like I think it's always been good Download. I'm trying to think how many times we've played it. I think we might have done it twice before, maybe, or once before.
Yeah.
But I remember one of them definitely, and it was ace. It's just a really well put together festival. It's just like all the bands are sick, everyone's lovely. It's just a really good weekend. And me and Becca actually stayed after we stayed for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
Just made the most of it. My dad goes every year as well, which is hilarious.
Cool.
With his actuary mates. He does all the glamping and all that shit.
Yeah.
So we met up with him, and he was absolutely hammered. It was amazing. It was great.
Did you bump into any like big rock stars like you were kind of like, what the fuck? Like, this is weird.
I met Herman Lee from Dragon
All
Force.
right.
That's
Yeah.
like a weird.
Yeah.
Like, cause he used to play Guitar Hero, so it was like,
Yeah.
me and Sam looks at Herman Lee. And I think I can't remember whether it was that one or the one before. Down there, bumped into Chris Jericho. I didn't meet him, but that was
sick.
like,
yeah,
he's massive. He don't look it on TV compared to the rest of them, but he's like absolutely, he's so
huge.
ripped. It's crazy. So I saw him, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And Metallica walked past me as well. Actually, that year we played last, that was actually
Crazy.
really crazy. They all look like wrestlers as well. We were going to, I think we were
even
going,
Lars.
Lars is maybe not so Lars, but like James Hetfield was like enormous. That was like quite a surreal moment. Like, they're not a band I sort of grew up listening to really. I think they're sick though. Like, I really like them, but they're not a band I sort of grew up listening to, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Obviously I thought it was amazing that they were headlining and we played the same stage as them. That's like completely mental. But I think me and Josh were walking from the dressing room bit or something, and we got stopped by security. They're like, yo, you just need to wait because there's a band going through to the stage. And we're like, all right, okay, cool. And it was just literally just Metallica, just the four of them with all the guitars.
That's crazy, that.
Lars were like spinning a drumstick while walking. It was like, you can't work out whether it's really cool or really lame at the same time. Sort of a mixture of both. But they killed it. They were sick. I've got like a bloody Metallica beach ball somewhere that I took. Hope that it'll be worth something one day. Probably not, but